Plaintiff Kimberly Frazier is suing her ex-boyfriend for unpaid loans and emotional distress. Kimberly says her 3-year-old son accidentally shot himself in the head with the defendant's gun while he was in the defendant's care. Defendant Joshua White insists the shooting was purely an accident and he thought the gun was put away. Joshua is countersuing Kimberly for emotional distress and defamation because he claims she posted false claims about him on the internet.
Kimberly Frazier is suing Joshua White, her ex-boyfriend, for unpaid loans and emotional distress. And Joshua White is countersuing his ex-girlfriend for defamation of character and emotional distress. Kimberly, let's start with you.
November 2007, Mr. White and I met at his employment, and we exchanged numbers. We started dating shortly after. Everything was fine until February 11th of 2008. On that day, I left my son in the care of him and my 9-month-old niece.
How old is your son?
At the time, he was 3.
Okay.
After I was out, I shortly received a phone call that my son was bleeding excessively from the head, and I told him to call the ambulance. When I arrived...
You said that you received a call. Who called you?
Mr. White.
What did he say?
That my son was bleeding from the head.
And that's it?
I returned home. My son was being put on a gurney, and the police officer on the scene told me that my son had an entrance and exit wound that looked like a gunshot wound to the head. When I got to the hospital, my son was in surgery. He was unconscious for a week because of the injury to his right side of his head, and I have pictures of that, Your Honor. Your Honor,
what is your son's name?
His name is Jeanine.
And was this before?
That was like a week before when we took a trip to New Orleans.
With the defendant?
With the defendant. Oh. And that's my son in the hospital.
How long was he in the hospital?
Including his rehabilitation, like a month and a half.
This is the wound? You said entrance, exit?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of injury does he have?
It healed perfectly right now, but he will have some delays as he gets older.
How old is he now?
He's 4 now.
Is he speaking and walking?
He's speaking, he's walking, talking. He's doing very, very well.
Tell me what happened when you got home.
Because of the severity of Jalen's accident, defects had to get involved, and they tried.
That's the Division of Family and Children's Services?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. They wanted to place my son with his dad. Within that time, I received the police report. What was disturbing to me that Mr. White stated to the police officer that he was on the phone and he asked my 3-year-old son to go into the room and watch my 9-month-old niece while he was out on the phone yelling and screaming with his child's mother over child support. And I have that as well, Your Honor.
Mr. White reported that the smaller child was crying really loud and he could not hear the other party on the phone, so he called in the 3-year-old to watch the other while he stepped out the front door to finish his conversation. Mr. White reported that just shortly after he stepped outside, the 3-year-old came out the door crying and bleeding from the right side of his head. This is a narrative by the detective, DeKalb County Police Department. Let me ask you, Kimberly, what did the defendant tell you when he said your son was bleeding? Did you say what happened?
At the time, I could not, because they charged him with making false statements, tampering with evidence, and reckless conduct, and I have that too, Your Honor. He was in jail for about 4 days, I think.
4 days?
Yes, ma'am.
But what I'm asking you, Kimberly, is what did the defendant tell you happened?
He told me he did not know what happened to my son until I got...
Wait a minute. At some point, you know that your 3-year-old has a gunshot wound through his head. The defendant calls you and says he's bleeding from the head. Does somebody say, where did this gun come from? Whose gun was it? How did he get a hold of the gun? Come on.
It was Mr. White's.
Did you know Mr. White had a gun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you know that he had a gun in your house?
Yes, I did.
Do you have a lockbox in your house?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Why would he have a gun?
Because he was an armed security guard.
So you had a license for the gun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Knowing that he's a security guard, knowing that he has a gun, which obviously is loaded at times, did you provide a place for him to put the gun?
Inside of the nightstand, and it's usually unloaded.
Did you have a rule that he wasn't to have ammunition in the gun?
That's not true, Your Honor. That's not true. She knows I always kept a loaded gun because I am allowed to have a loaded handgun wherever I go, even with a round in the chamber, as long as the weapon is on safe. She has a loaded gun as well that she kept with her in the nightstand drawer on her side.
Do you have a
of the
loaded
bed.
gun?
Yes, and I kept it in my car.
And it's always
You kept it
loaded.
in your car?
It was not in the car.
Well,
it was
hold
in
on.
the nice.
Why do you have a gun in your car?
I kept a gun in my car because the employment that I used to have, and I was afraid coming home from work, and I did have someone stalking me. That was the reason why I had the gun.
What was your prior employment?
I was an exotic dancer, and the guy that I met.
All right, that's enough. All right. What was so important that you would leave the baby with a 3-year-old, that you would walk outside?
To be honest, Your Honor, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. They can't ask me, where was the handgun? I can't tell them. It should be in the nightstand drawer where I always kept it. On safety. Yes, it was loaded. I always kept it loaded, but that's where I always kept it. But when I came back down and I began to realize what was going on, and I began looking to see what he could have fell on or what could have fallen on him, because like she quoted, I was not aware that it was a gunshot because I was on the phone arguing with my baby mother.
Didn't you hear the gunshot?
No, ma'am.
Come on, Joshua.
No, Your Honor,
It's
I
not.
did
There's
not.
no silencer on the gun.
I understand that, but I did not hear any gunshots at all. I did not hear it
I
at
had a
all.
lot of trouble with that.
Yes, I know. I admit that was wrong with me to have that gun just laying there. And I should have had it in a lockbox.
Did she have guns in the house too?
Yes, Your Honor. That day of the incident, her gun was still in the car from when we had went to New Orleans, but she normally kept it in her nightstand drawer, on her side of the bed. Because there was an incident where even her son was playing with her gun.
My son has never played with my gun.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
My
She
son-
told me herself, I seen
If
him
that
play
was the
with
case,
the
then
handgun, hurt
if something would have
himself.
happened with my son.
He probably still would have shot himself because she kept that handgun in there when he has played with that gun. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes.
You would stand there and say you actually seen my
I
son
seen
play
you because you
with
tore
his gun?
his butt up for that. I remember that day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what, Kimberly? Okay, you tore his butt up?
Lie and say you didn't spank
Kimberly?
him for that.
Kimberly,
No, I did not.
he never handled
That
the
is
gun?
a lie,
My
Your
son
Honor.
never played with my gun.
Did he ever handle it? Did he ever touch it?
That
Did he
is
ever
a
see
lie.
it? Did he ever open the
He
drawer?
has seen it. My
That
son
is a
has
lie.
seen it, and I will admit that he has seen it, but my son has never touched my gun.
How can a 3-year-old see a gun and never try to touch it?
That is a lie.
He's seen it in the car and asked me what it was, and I told him that he couldn't play with it.
And that was it?
dangerous, and that was it, Your Honor.
Why are you here today? What is your name?
Hi, excuse me, my name is Kimberly Dixon. When we were having a conversation, when she brought her son to Josh's house, knowing that he wasn't supposed to be there, and she brought
I
her
have
son,
papers to prove that she did.
when she brought him to the house, me
You're
and her
saying
had,
after the incident, she's bringing the
After
baby
the
Yes,
to the
incident,
defendant?
when she knew he wasn't
I
supposed
was
to
not
be
supposed
around
to be
him.
around Mr.
Did you
John
bring your son to his house?
Yes.
Took him
My son
to
was-
my
Yes or
house.
no?
Yes.
Okay, now what I
All
was
right,
trying
she
to say
admitted
is
it.
that one of our conversations, I asked her, I said, you knew that your son was around a gun before. Her words to me were that he didn't shoot my gun. You know, he just picked it up. Her words to me were that.
I didn't never tell you
Yeah,
that.
what-
I never
All
told
right,
you that.
thank
No,
you.
first
You
of
may
all,
be
and
seated.
other stuff.
Thank you very much. All right. At the end of the day, were you separated from your son?
yes, I was.
For how long?
For almost 8 months.
And then after the investigation is over, you got custody of Jalen,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you go and visit the defendant.
To obtain the loans that I had given to him over the course.
Why would you
of
do that in violation of a court order?
And she
Well,
knew,
on my
she knew.
on my side, everything was closed. I was helping him financially, and he was supposed to pay me back. And I have my credit card receipt for when I paid his Boost mobile cell phone and took and paid for the insurance. Now, he paid me back for the insurance for the car that he's driving now, but for everything else, he has not paid me back for.
And there's no promissory note?
No promissory note.
I have my
I'm
printout.
asking you if there's a
no
promissory
promissory
note.
note.
So how do I know if it's a loan or a gift?
It was a loan, Your Honor.
What are you suing her for?
Emotional distress of all the text messages she sent me. I have proof of that, saying, I hope you rot in hell for what you did to my son. Talking about, I hope the lawyers will never help you. And for the defamation of character, how she put my picture and my number on Craigslist under the gay ad or whatnot, saying, there's nobody.
And
she had my number.
She advertised you as a gay guy looking for love?
Basically saying that, I'm looking for, some companion.
I did not do the Craigslist, Your Honor. I did not do the Craigslist.
The issue for the court is very simple. It's whether or not the plaintiff loaned the defendant money. The plaintiff has no promissory note. There's nothing to prove that. The plaintiff, through her own testimony, has indicated that he has paid her back for some things. And so as a result of that, I'm not going to award you for any loans. The other issue is the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Normally, that is a very severe kind of award that is made when things are so outrageous, so incredible, so emotionally distressful that the courts will rarely order money. I considered giving that money to you because I can't imagine anything worse than a mother being called saying that her son is bleeding on a gurney, and then she finds out he's got a bullet wound through and through his head. I had considered giving you that money until I heard from you today. If you were so distressed and emotionally distraught, you would not have taken your son to visit the defendant before the scar is even healed. Now I'm going to go up one side of you and down another because you had a loaded gun and you left 2 babies with a loaded gun. Shame on you. But you know what? I don't have to punish you anymore. I think you will never forget what happened. I think you're lying somewhat. There is no way under the sun you didn't hear that gun go off. But I truly think that you have suffered as a result of this. But I'm not going to award you any money for defamation. What the 2 of you did was you both had loaded guns with babies and no lock boxes. And you both try to represent yourself as responsible human beings. Shame on both of you. No verdict for either one of you. So what?